Previously on How I Learned Pottery in 30 Days. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Catherine, and I traveled from New York City to Jingdezhen, China, to learn pottery from the masters of porcelain themselves. In my last video, I met Master John and enrolled in his pottery school, had a centering breakthrough, learned to throw off the hump the Jingdezhen way, and started making my first pulls, all while adapting to my new surroundings. But that was just the warm-up, because the real training begins tomorrow. Up next, 10 non-stop days of pottery bootcamp. Walking the now familiar path up to the studio feels different today. It's the first day of the Gaoyan Ban, where every day for the next 10, I, along with about 20 new classmates, will study under masters of the ceramic arts.
大家好，我的名字是 Catherine， 我来自美国，在那边大学学了环境科学、艺术。
After introductions, we get straight into it with a lesson from Master John's apprentices on how to wedge clay. Wedging is an important first step before throwing. It's the process of kneading clay to remove air bubbles and ensure its uniform consistency. At the studio, we're pretty lucky because the pug mill in the corner does all the hard work mixing clay for us, eliminating the need for wedging. Still, it'll serve me well to learn how to wedge. This method of wedging is called the ram's head, but it reminds me more of croissant. We're going. When it's time for a daily throwing lesson with Master John, we drop everything and flock to the lobby. Despite being the best of the best, the master patiently breaks down each step and explains common pitfalls in a way that's accessible for beginners. After our throwing lesson and lunch is our very first guest masterclass, where today we'll be learning sculpting. Since this is a paid course, I won't show these lessons in too much detail, but I'll share the highlights to give you a sense of my experience. The sculpture master demonstrates how to make a dog in the style of the Song dynasty. Instead of referring to it as a dog, he calls it a wang wang, translation, bark bark, which makes me smile.
宋代是有一只旺旺在博物馆，它是打着比较，这样是很舒服的，你怎样打过去都舒服，对吧？是有掌控安全的，这里也有，这还有尾盘在右侧或者左侧。
We have the whole rest of the afternoon to practice sculpting. I'm not feeling super creative right now, so I'll start by making a wang wang too. It's been a long time since I've been given this kind of space to just create. That kind of freedom can be overwhelming, so it feels safe to be able to learn by copying without the pressure to make something new and original. It's also fun imagining people back in the year 1000 making little guys like this. I'm still not quite sure what to make next, so I let my hands do the thinking for me and end up with this globular panoptical creature. With the little remaining time, I make a ring holder. So these are my creations. This is supposed to be some sort of cursed ring holder, I guess. I don't know, you can stick something in the middle if you want to. In my mind I keep on calling it a tea pet, but it's not functionally a tea pet. But it's cute. It's multiple pets in one. And somebody told me that the rooftop looks really nice, so while I'm up here, I better check it out. It's quite beautiful. Time to put this back in the classroom, and the teachers are going to take care of it for us from here. From 8:30 to 12, we practice at the wheel. My progress this morning, from left to right, my weak, wobbly rims have become sturdy and even. Our second masterclass is in Qinghua, hand-painted cobalt oxide underglaze on porcelain. Once fired, the now black pigment turns a deep blue. The contrast against the white porcelain is striking. This blue and white porcelain has become synonymous with fine china and is highly sought after. We're each given one bisque-fired cup to paint on. I attempt a lotus flower, but quickly mess up and devolve into doodling. Good thing I can erase and start over. Back to square one, and I still don't know what to paint. What's throwing me off the most is the fact that glaze is not at all like paint. It absorbs quickly into the surface of the clay rather than sitting on top. I've been so focused on my own piece that I didn't even realize all this talent was happening around me. Most of my classmates are professional artists, so it makes sense. But I'm in awe of the beautiful illustrations they created in just a couple hours. Downstairs, the amazement continues. I'm humbled to be surrounded on all sides by this insane level of skill and creativity. I'd been in a hurry to get more throwing in before dismissal, but I think I'll take some time to observe and admire instead. Nighttime is when the streets of Jingdezhen really come alive. During the day, it's blazing hot, but after the sun sets, the temperature becomes balmy and a breeze sweeps through the city. It's my mom's last day in Jingdezhen. She came to help me get settled, but she's headed back to Beijing tomorrow. We're getting hot pot to commemorate. Hot pot isn't normally my thing, but I can tell today is gonna be good. The best hot pot has to have meat, seafood, greens, and some kind of noodles. For someone who supposedly doesn't do hot pot, I sure have a lot of opinions about it. Since it's the weekend, we've come to Taoxichuan Avenue to browse the art market where local ceramicists show and sell their work. It's ceramic everything. Dinnerware, candles, wall art, toys, even ceramic shoe replicas. It's ceramic heaven. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
一边是响，这边是冒，两个字。
This will stab through the heart. The market is a huge attraction. There are so many people and so many vendors that it's impossible to see everything in one night. Not to mention so many distinct styles and unique ideas. It's a chicken?
It's a pork. Join in this part with elephant.
Oh, okay.
It's like a freedom.
Freedom. I like the meaning. I usually have good self-control, but there's no way I can walk away without buying something today.
这个卖多少？168。哇，太便宜了吧！
The market sprawls on and on. I'm having so much fun just looking around and getting inspired. I find myself wondering, how did they make that? And trying to reverse engineer their process from what little I know. It's an entertaining and challenging game I feel like I could play forever. But I have class in the morning and should head back.
这个128。
嗯，谢谢。
Your daily meal.
I've been sitting with a new friend at lunch these days. We'll call her Pineapple.
I was in Japan studying ceramics.
Not only is Pineapple a great person to grab lunch and afternoon coffees with, but as one of the only English-Chinese speakers here, she's quickly become a lifeline for me when I can't understand what's being said during class. I'm really lucky she's here.
How do you feel about the classes that we've had so far?
I think our sewing lessons are great. I wanted to say I prefer spending time on the wheel.
Yeah, I have this like same sort of reflection about.
The guest master classes have been great so far, but it's really hard to beat uninterrupted time at the wheel.
我也来一个也是带走的。谢谢。I'm so glad there's a coffee shop here.
That's so funny. Why have I never noticed that before? Oh my gosh, it's really him. We make it to the classroom just in time for today's masterclass in Qianfudiao, or Bas-Relief carving. In bas-relief carving, the projection from the surrounding surface is slight, but the effect is almost lifelike.
好，我们现在地基刮完了之后，我们把这个图案给分出来，只是让它有那种圆圆的感觉，有那种包裹感。你看我们硬币上的钱，那个图案是吧？它那么浅，它都有立体感。
The Qinghua master puts on the finishing touches, veins for each petal and leaf, and dots of slip for the hairs on the lotus stalk.
大概知道这个流程了吧？
I make it a point to be more decisive today. My sketch of a lotus flower complete. The next step is to carve the outline. At this point in the process, I'm feeling good. But 2 hours of scraping later, my camera is low on battery, and so am I. I wasn't able to film much for the rest of the day, but I am satisfied with my finished carving. It's the 4th day of the Gaoyan Ban and my 8th day of learning pottery. Master John is typically too busy to give individual feedback. This opportunity to have him personally correct my form feels like a real treat.
对，您的，对，走，对，走，走，这个好的很，走，对，您的，对，您的，对，您的，哎，这好的很呢，啊，这个好的，不用管，因为这个块你慢慢的会解决的。
Pulling the Jingdezhen way can be challenging because, unlike most other approaches, all the height is achieved in a single continuous pull. So it's a lot of clay to handle at once, especially when trying to maintain a steady but firm pressure. My problems aren't magically solved, but Master John's tips have led to noticeable improvement in just a few hours.
90度向下拉的感觉啊，好了，第二个1、2、3，我向下转的感觉，这个再回过来以后，再一起来。
Day 9. Today, Master John introduces the right angle cup. Every day we're hit with so much information. Chances I'll get bored or run out of things to practice are 0.
自然的感觉在里头，那就要看绘画的人。
I'm trying to get into the habit of dissecting my throws more often. I'm still leaving too much clay behind at the bottom of the cup, but it's not too bad.
那怎么样呢？大家现在今天第6天了啊，往往是快乐幸福日子过最快乐。
The main lesson topic today is creating narrow necks, which consists of 1. Pulling inward, and 2. Narrowing even further from there.
What are these things? I mean, they're good, but they're like. Yeah, but like, what is it? I feel like they taste like they're made out of rice.
你们这里不要打毛啊，打了毛刚刚撕了，它这个边上它就会裂。它们像这样不过来，它平静。Beautiful. 它就不会裂。
He's measuring it with the finger. No, he's like 33, it's just a little less than 45. He just eyeball.
He's like screw math, screw measuring.
He's like, I
After the masterclass, I spend the rest of the day trying to pull necks. I'm still not getting much height, but for my first attempts, I'm proud. Tonight, I'm headed to a goodbye dinner for AT, a friend I made on my first day of school in episode 1. It's bittersweet saying goodbye, but I'm thankful to get to meet such wonderful people and share this time together, however short. Personally, I've been really excited to learn about one part of the pottery making process in particular: glazing and firing. The in-house kiln master starts with a demo of pouring and dipping glaze. Then we file into the lunchroom to try brush-on application of glaze. Our sculptures from day 1 make an unexpected return, surprising us all.
Oh wait, that one's mine.
We're like giddy children reuniting with our pieces.
I like it.
These have been bisque fired and clear glazed already, but it's up to us to customize.
What happens when you put one of them over another one?
It'll like fuse together.
Will it mix into something else, or will it just hover?
It'll mix into something else, most likely.
累死了我。 开始每天必须拉我每天晚上，然后我每天早上开始已经看他了，然后我下午做的是这里，然后我中午你有没有发现我站起来休息好了，然后你坐在里面了，然后我当时每次走出我说赶紧一个图休息。
It's true, I may be a little obsessed.
我们马上了，这是做药的。哦，没事。I think you can do it.
We make it just as the apprentices are loading the final shelf. I'm excited to see how these turn out. Once the kiln is fully loaded, the kiln master lights the gas. As I learned from Pineapple, Raku is a low-temperature Japanese firing technique.
It's so precarious.
Once the kiln has run its course, the still hot pottery will be removed and cooled rapidly in combustible materials like wood, straw, or paper. You'll see what I mean very soon. The apprentices move swiftly, dropping the glowing pieces into the buckets of wood chips. Even from a cowardly distance, equipped with my zoom lens, I can feel the intense heat on my face. In the oxygen-starved environment, the molten glaze will acquire a unique and unpredictable finish. After some time, water is poured over to extinguish the flames and cool the pieces, but keep in mind they are still very hot. The pieces are scrubbed vigorously to remove the soot. It'll take some more scrubbing to get these completely clean, but I do love the way my 3 little objects turned out. Throughout the Gaoyanban, I've been trying my best to film as much as possible, mostly because I want to continue learning from all the masters even after I've left Jingdezhen. There's so much packed into each demonstration that it's impossible to absorb it all in the moment. As the lessons have gotten more detailed and nuanced, I've also been having more trouble keeping up with my limited Chinese. Pineapple has been a massive help making sure I'm not left behind. Sometimes I feel like she's babysitting me, and I don't mind it.
再看这个它的状况。它到了该留泥的时候留泥，啊，该其实。
那学几年可以拉进去？10年吧。
大概吃饭时间了，吃饭了。你们要看里面吗？不要，
烧把这个拉到这个。
这样，一会儿你们吃完饭以后，每人在下面签个名。
可以。
照，大家一个集体照，每个呢就围2边拍个集体照。来。
So far, each of the masters have differed in their specialties, but also in their personalities and approaches. Some, like the sculpture master on day 1, are nurturing and soft-spoken. The Qinghua master on day 2 was exacting and attentive, making her rounds and giving constructive criticism. The most entertaining was probably the slab building master on day 6, who was pure chaos. But their commonality has been their incredible passion and knowledge. You'd think that 8 hours of ceramics every day, half of those at the wheel, would be enough, but nope.
Chicken sandwich. Getting my daily value of clay.
Master John is letting us stay late to get in more practice, so I'm gonna put in some extra rotations. As much as I've been loving throwing and enjoying this experience, I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a bit lonely at times. Being away from family, friends, and familiarity, it's hard. At first, I learned quickly and had no problems asking basic questions in Chinese. I didn't mind looking a little stupid either, with my elementary vocabulary. Besides, the teachers were always patient and understanding, even if they had to repeat themselves multiple times in multiple ways. But as the challenges I ran into while throwing got more complex, I found myself struggling. As someone who tries her hardest to express herself clearly, it feels like my progress is being hindered by my inability to communicate precisely. At times, friendly classmates will try to strike up a conversation with me, and even though I want to keep the exchange going, my mind goes blank and all I can do is respond with a smile and a laugh. Pottery, I'm learning, is a cycle of trying, failing, and trying again. Each collapse tests my patience, but also teaches me resilience, the kind you can only gain by letting go of perfection and embracing the awkwardness. Just like I'm learning pottery by being surrounded by skilled masters and peers, I'm also learning to navigate a language that challenges me every day. I'd rather be here fumbling and growing than in a place where I feel comfortable but stagnant. From now on, I'm going to be bolder, both at the wheel and in the conversations I've been too shy to start. Okay, I just have to point out that this is my first ever decent flower pot. It actually looks kind of legit. I can't believe it's already our second to last day of bootcamp. Master John is leaving it all on the table today. It's as if he's making sure we walk away with as much as possible. He's also extra chatty today.
以前我们拉皮机都很大，现在走在街上，你看到如果他走路是外八的走，我告诉你，他不是拉皮机的修理，因为那个盘子那么大，天天脚刹这么开。师傅还跟你讲这个，他什么7点半、2点半什么，还怎么左手发力右手卖的10指中指这个，不可能的。他就是跟你说一句话，看这样的啊，你看这样的啊，就是这最好的这句话。我以前呢，我说个故事给你听。我最早做的制度的时候，我是做不直的，是到这里厚度，然后一直往到这里。你不切开觉得哇，这造好看，一切开就好使。下面这么浪费地方，他又把我修了一变形。好，所以。
Explain how you fix this problem. No.
好了，我们这个小过程，我们
老师后来你是怎么解决底下厚的问题的？
两个问题，就慢慢练习。我再跟你开个玩笑，我买的号码第一天接第一个电话，你知道怎么接的吗？我那里切个铃木王，戴个头盔，突然手机响了，咔，这个急刹车，头盔掉出去，生怕这个电话别人挂到他，说不上话。啊，接完电话聊完以后，再把摩托一放，再点头盔，再戴着再走，手机放这里。然后配饮料的多样米洗手，咔，手机掉出去。
If, like me, you've been wondering how clunky, rough-edged objects that come straight off the wheel become polished, paper-thin pieces, then this is the masterclass where everything comes together. Trimming refines the shape of a piece. It removes excess clay, making the form lighter and more elegant. It's also done to smooth out the surface texture of the clay.
这几个这个传统的办法干修，明白吧？刀很关键，还有要懂得货刀、下刀，还有最关键的、很关键的要学会用透手。对，实在很干就直接水。
Trimming is also your chance to add unique design elements like chattering or a foot. Without trimming, a piece simply isn't finished. And just like that, it's the last day of the Gaoyanban. For the past 14 days, I've been given access to 3 priceless resources. 1. Time. The freedom to spend entire days focused solely on pottery. 2. Materials. Seemingly unlimited clay, already prepped and ready to go. And 3. Expertise. Teachers who are generous with their knowledge and patient with our mistakes. It's a privilege to not only be given the room to fail here, but be actively encouraged and given everything I need to learn through trial and error. I realize that's really special and hard to come by. People are already starting to leave now that it's the end of boot camp, including Pineapple, who is heading out to catch a train right after this lesson.
It's almost sort of towards you. Like,
As for me, I'm lucky that I'm only halfway through my time here. I'm enrolled in 2 more weeks of school. My remaining class days will go back to what they were like before boot camp, aka in episode 1, where there won't be any master classes, but I'll spend the full day throwing. I'm so excited to spend even more hours at the wheel, honing in on the details. I really am happiest when throwing. Before class end, I asked Han Lao Shi to demo a big piece in detail for me.
大件一定要有一些小件的基础，就是因为你小件掌握了，大件对泥巴的掌控才会越来越好。
Big pieces symbolize something to me. Beyond my skill level now, they're a hope of where I'll one day be, a future version of myself as a potter. Not being in class feels a little empty. I'm almost not sure what to do with myself today.
300米处有违章拍照。
玛格丽特。
14 days of pottery have given me so much perspective on how impressive the masters of traditional craft are, on what I'm capable of, and on the beauty of clay itself. There's something magnetic about clay. It's unforgiving, but also endlessly flexible. The way it changes under my hands feels both uncomplicated and unpredictable. With each piece, I'm never fully sure if it'll hold, But that's part of the fun. Even the frustrations and the slowdowns. I find myself wanting to grow faster. But I know it's now, in this slower, steadier period, that the real progress will happen. I'm falling in love with Jingdezhen, too. With its people, its utter devotion to ceramics, and its slower, more deliberate pace of life. Different from the big cities and constant rush I've known. Every moment here feels like a step deeper into a wonderful world of ceramics, one that I admired from afar, but now I can feel myself becoming a part of. Two weeks down and I'm only scratching the surface. And I can't wait to see what's next.